Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. It is Zachary Reality. Today, we're going to be breaking down the new cast of The Traitors Season 4. It was announced last week. It was announced, I believe, on Friday, and it's a pretty fun cast. There's a lot of interesting names. I don't think it's as good as Season 3 or 2. For everyone who's like, this is the best cast ever. Like, it's good. But the last couple were really good. Like all three seasons of The Traitors have been amazing. So I actually really hope that this season makes its own mark and does its own thing because they do have big shoes to fill. And there's just quite a few names here that I'm not super hyped about, but there's so many that I am. So we're going to go through the cast and just talk about everybody. So let's get to it. Starting off with the queen herself, Donna Kelce. So she is known for being Travis and Jason Kelce's mom. So she goes by Mama Kelce. She's also appeared in two Hallmark movies. Also, the Kelces are football players. Jason Kelce played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and Travis plays for the Kansas Chiefs. He's also dating Taylor Swift. I mean, Donna Kelce, Mama Kelce, is an icon. She's a queen. She's probably like the biggest name, and she's also a really good get because she's super relevant and she has her own story to tell outside of just being their mothers. And I really think she's going to do that. I mean, who's going to vote her off early, especially when everybody wants that Taylor Swift connection? I mean, not even just that, but I feel like everyone's going to be scared to vote her off because she's so popular and maybe the most famous person on this cast that they might like keep her in longer. I mean, I'm excited to see what her personality's like, what she's all about. I think she would make a really great traitor because everyone's going to be scared to vote her off. But she also could be a good faithful. What do you think she wants to be? She might want to be a faithful and not be the bad guy. Um, I don't know, but hopefully she goes far and we can get to know her. I think it's going to be really interesting, and I think she's a great choice. Next up, we have Natalie Anderson from Survivor. She was also on The Amazing Race. So we first met Natalie on The Amazing Race way back in the day. I watched her when I was a kid on there with her sister, Nadia, a twin sister. They're twinnies. They used to go by the twinnies. They were just like really fierce competitors and they were just so funny. They had great banter. Some people found them to be really annoying, I think, because they talked so much and they were could be seen as obnoxious. But they were just like the underdogs. They were so funny. And they had such a sisterly dynamic that they got invited back for Amazing Race All Stars, but they were sent home first on the Amazing Race All Stars, which was like such a disappointment. Then Natalie and her sister Nadia were cast on Survivor San Juan del Sur, which was a blood versus water season. So on that, they had basically relatives, sisters. They actually had OGs back. Oh no, the first time they did blood versus water, they had OGs back on season 27. But for season 29, they casted all new players and like it was like a father-daughter situation, and Natalie killed it because Nadia went home first. There's also a Redemption Island season where if you get voted out, you can win your way back into the game. Wait, no, that was on 27. Okay, 29, Natalie Anderson. She won um, Survivor. Her sister was voted off first, and then she just like crawled her way to the top. And she did amazing. She was such a dominating player, and she made such big moves. Like she relied on like her strength and her social skills in the beginning of the game, but towards the end, when her really close ally Jeremy was voted off, and you guys know Jeremy from the Traitors last year, Natalie, she really had to step it up. Like she found an idol, she won challenges, and she even broke up the last couple of Missy and Baylor who were mother-daughter, which was probably not the easiest thing to do, but it solidified like her gameplay. And she was such a strong strategic player that she ended up winning Survivor San Juan del Sur. And I was really happy for her, like especially knowing her from Amazing Race and that journey. Like I've always rooted for Natalie. So I can't wait to see her on the Traitors. I hope that she wins. I hope that she's a traitor. I hope that America falls in love with her. And I really hope that she doesn't go home early because there's a lot of Bravo people here. And my biggest fear for Natalie is that she could be seen as an outcast. She might not be able to socially adapt or keep up with all the people because that's kind of what happened on Winners at War with Natalie. She was a very early boot. She was the first person voted off at Winners at War. She came back for season 40, but then that was like some type of Redemption Island season. So she was able to stay on another island the whole time, and then she somehow made it to the finals because she got let back in the game after everyone else was voted off, and she got second place because she was so good at winning challenges. So it's just like Natalie's really fierce, and but the thing about Traitors is that she's going to have to know how to socialize with the Bravo people, and she's going to have to know how to socialize with like the round table and like around the castle. So that's why I would get nervous for Natalie because she's so cool and fun, but like she thrives in a competitive environment. So she's just going to have to really tap into that like fun personality that we've seen with her and her sister and just kind of like really go with the flow. And I'm definitely rooting for her. Okay, next up we have Ian Terry. He won Big Brother 14, which was in 2012, and he also returned to compete on All Stars in 2020. I'm not the biggest Big Brother watcher. I keep up with the show like a little bit. I love Taylor, I love Rachel Riley, I loved Janelle on the Traitors, and Dan was fun too. So I don't know much about Ian, but he looks super cute, and I always love to get to know the Big Brother people because I've loved them all on Traitors. Next up, we have Colton Underwood from The Bachelor. He was the lead in season 23 after he originally was on Becca Kufrin's season where he made it to the final four. And it was kind of weird because Tia, who was also on Ari's season with Becca Kufrin, Tia had some type of flirtiness with Colton, so she made a couple appearances on Becca's season to like play out this relationship she had with Colton, which ultimately led to Becca breaking up with Colton. And then Colton went to Bachelor in Paradise, and Tia was there too, and they tried to make that work, but Colton left by himself, and then Colton became the Bachelor. And then he got engaged to Cassie on The Bachelor after she threatened to leave the show, which made him jump a fence. Um, that was really good TV. So some people are worried about Colton being on Traitors because he might not be super fabulous. Like he came out as gay and he has great style, but it's like he kind of is a little boring, I think, for TV now. Demi called him out for saying the only interesting thing about him is that he's gay. And I feel like Colton's really gonna have to tap into like his personality and be fun. I watched him on Coming Out Colton and like it was a really great story and like I really commended him for his vulnerability and I thought it was great, like LGBTQ, happy Pride Month. But Colton needs to give more. That survival show that he was on was such a boring show that I couldn't even watch it. And I feel like Colton, like I need him to be really funny and sassy and tap into being gay because I feel like he has big shoes to fill. Like Bachelor Nation had a lot of great options, like Caitlin Bristow and Rachel Lindsay, who are like my top two picks for who should go on Traitors. And I just don't really know if Colton's like the best person to represent Bachelor Nation on Traitors. I'm gonna give him a chance. I met him a couple months ago at the Hulu House and I really liked him. I also know that he's gonna be hosting another reality show with Caitlin Bristow. They're going to be hosting a show called Virgin Island, and it's supposed to come out like later this year. Hulu hasn't announced it yet. So we're going to see a lot of Colton on our TV, and I want him to bring it. Like, if he's going to be getting these opportunities, he needs to bring it with his personality. He needs to be interesting for people. So we'll see what he's got this year. I'm just apprehensive. Next up, we have Rob Cesternino from Survivor. Oh my God, he literally is so cool and such an icon. He originally was on Survivor Amazon, which was season 6. So he goes back to OG Survivor, which is what I love, OG Survivor. And he was such a strategist on the Amazon. Like, it was a men versus women season, and he had to just like play both sides once the merge happened. And he like ran the jury, he ran the game, he made it all the way to the final 3 or like 4. Yeah, I think he got third place because Jenna Maraska won that season. She won the final immunity and then she took him out because she didn't want to go up against him in the final 2. He probably would have won the show because he was such a strategist and he was like one of the first people to like really invent some type of like nerdy strategy fandom about Survivor. And like he got invited to Survivor All Stars, which was season 8, a couple years later, but he was the first person voted out of his tribe by Boston Rob, who you guys obviously know from the Traitors. And Boston Rob voted him out because he was smart and he was a strategist, and Boston Rob wanted to be the only alpha. Now that there is no Boston Rob, I feel like Rob Cesternino can do really well on the Traitors because I'm trying to think who else is on this cast that's like a really strategic guy that would like see Cesternino as a threat. Like, I don't know, maybe Ian from Big Brother, but Cesternino, he's going to be really good at like playing into the housewives' egos. He's going to be really social. It's been years since he's been on TV. He has not been on any reality show since Survivor All Stars. He obviously has his podcast, which is called Rob Has a Podcast, and it's so popular. He has like so many people hosting it, and they cover all these reality shows, and he's just like the king of like CBS reality recaps. And like I've obviously followed him on there, and I think he's really worthy of this opportunity to finally come back years later. So I have high hopes for him. I really hope he's a traitor. I definitely will be cheering him on, and like hopefully I will get to meet him and meet all of these people. I've been able to participate in the Traitors press junkets the last couple of years. You guys can watch all my interviews with the Traitors people on my YouTube channel. And I always get so excited to meet all the people that like I never thought I would meet, like Parvati and Sandra. I got to interview Dylan Efron, and Brittany from Big Brother last year was so cool, as well as Carolyn. So I'm really excited to chat with this cast. Um, this year once the show comes back, especially Rob Cesternino. Okay, next up we have Darinda Medley from The Real Housewives of New York City, and she was also on The Traitors last year. So I'm like not super excited because like I don't really like when they bring people back. Like I don't know, Kate Chastain I feel like is the only exception because she just like is the Traitors and she's the foundation of comedy on that show. But like Dorinda was so annoying last year. She like threw a fit about the challenge, and then at the reunion she'd completely flopped when she basically was like, "You don't know who I am" to Bob the drag queen. Like, why are you coming for Bob the drag queen? Like, Bob the drag queen made last season so iconic. He was one of the main people. Dorinda just seems so out of touch sometimes and like has such an ego. And like, I remember her being so nasty and so rude to Tinsley on the last season of New York Housewives, which is why she was put on pause to begin with. I feel like everyone forgets that she got fired or was put on pause because she was so mean. She did redeem herself when she hosted everyone on the Ultimate Girls Trip at the Berkshires. And I also do want to acknowledge that I think Dorinda is iconic. Like, she has so many great lines. She is really funny. And I do think that she is fantastic television. So I just don't like her ego sometimes. But I'll give her a chance. We'll see what she's made of on Traitors. I mean, it's out of my control, right? I'm probably going to be interviewing her, and I'll have to like eat my words and say this to her face. So next up, we have Tiffany. She was on Big Brother 23. She also co-hosted Big Brother Reindeer Games. So I don't know much about Big Brother. I know Taylor Hale is an icon, so I probably would have loved to see Taylor Hale. I don't know anything about Tiffany, but I love getting to know the Big Brother people when they go on Traitors. Like, I've been very satisfied with Brittany. I've been very satisfied with Janelle, even Dan, who was a little annoying. I mean, of course, like I love the Big Brother players, so I can't wait to see what Tiffany is made of. Okay, next up we have Yam Yam. He won Survivor season 44. I don't watch Survivor anymore. I watched it a little bit. I watched the finale of 48, and I love OG Survivor. I watched seasons 1 through 30, and then I kind of fell off after 30, and I've been watching a little bit of the 30s I would dabble in, and the 40s I would dabble in, but I definitely did not see season 44, so I don't know much about Yam Yam, but I love that his name is Yam Yam. I feel like that's going to be fun to say. I think the fans are really excited about him returning. And him being a winner obviously shows that he has strategic play, social gameplay, and he's adaptable and obviously really good because it's not easy to win a competition show like Survivor. So he obviously is talented AF. He seems funny. I think he'll be a great addition to the cast, so I look forward to getting to know him. Next up, we have Monae Exchange. She has competed multiple times on RuPaul's Drag Race, winning the 4th season of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. So she's fierce. She obviously is an icon if she's winning an all-star season. I know of a Monae Exchange, but I don't watch RuPaul, but I do keep up. I loved Bob the Drag Queen last year, and I love all the drag queens. I think we need a drag queen on every season. I love that they're always including at least one, and I feel like Monae Exchange is going to be so fabulous and fierce. I don't know what she'll be, a traitor faithful, if she'll be able to adapt to the housewives, so if she'll want to work with them, if she wants to create like her own type of energy and her vibe. Like, I don't know what to expect. I know the outfits will be lit, and I'm so excited for the one-liners, the fabulosity, and the comedy. I think that's what makes Monae Exchange so exciting, is that she's going to bring it all. She has so many layers to her. She is complex. It's going to be great. Okay, next up we have Mark Ballas from Dancing with the Stars. He used to be a pro on the show from 2007 to 2022. He was a pro for like literally 15 years. I think he left for a while and then he came back because Charlie D'Amelio was going to be a contestant. And then him and Charlie ended up winning that season, dominating that season. He does have a connection to Gabby Windey, who was the runner up from that season. He's won the show 3 times. He is a fierce competitor. He's a super popular dancer. I think he's from Utah. He comes back to Dancing with the Stars almost every year to guest judge. And I think he's a really nice guy. He has a man bun, which makes him different. I do think like he is a little bit boring, maybe, compared to like other people from Dancing with the Stars that I would have loved to see on Traitors. But we have to remember that all of the current pros, like your favorites, Emma and Alan and Gleb and Sasha, those people are contracted with ABC, Disney. They want to be pros next season on Dancing with the Stars. Ezra, Riley, Brandon. So it's like they need to find a retired Dancing with the Stars alum or someone that doesn't want to go back to the show to get them to go on Traitors. Because even PETA said recently, because PETA would be fabulous, that she wants to be a pro next season on Dancing with the Stars. She's open to returning. We did have Max on a couple years ago from Dancing with the Stars. He's an alum. He's Val's brother. He was on the Traitors, I believe, on season 2, right? He was voted off really early, though. So we'll see how Mark does. I think that he's a fierce competitor. But is he going to be able to adapt to the housewives, the pop culture? Like, I don't know. He could be an early boot. We'll see. Next up, we have Lisa Rinna. Oh my gosh. Lisa Rinna. She starred on a soap opera called Days of Our Lives. She's also been on Fox's Melrose Place, but she is most known for being a part of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills from seasons, I don't know, 2014 to 2022. Lisa Rinna left the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills a couple of years back because she quit the show. She became really hated because she became such a major villain. She was the villain of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because she just really came for people. I love Lisa Rinna. I actually did like kind of hate her at the end because she did become so villainous. And the reason she was villainous is because she was always trying to take down people. She was coming for Kim Richards. She was coming for Lisa Vanderpump. She came for her friends, Denise. She came for Garcelle. She came for Sutton. She was always putting people up to the test and challenging people. And I think she's going to be really great at Traitors. I think if she doesn't know how to tone it down and be like less confrontational, it could end up being like a Darinda situation from last season. But I feel like Lisa has now been out of TV for a few years. She's been out of the game. She's been modeling, traveling around. She's just so fabulous and she's such good TV. And I'm so excited she's back. And I hope that she goes really far. I hope she's a traitor. I'm rooting for Lisa Rinna. I miss her on TV and I'm so excited that she's back. And I would die to interview her or meet her, hopefully at the Traitors season 4 press junket. But, guys, Lisa Rinna did block me on TikTok. She blocked me years ago on TikTok. I don't know why. I definitely was like covering that season of Beverly Hills. Maybe I talked a little bit of crap about her because I really did hate her at the end because she was so mean. I mean, I don't think I was one of the people that booed her at BravoCon, but like the fact that I even have to, I probably was one of the people. But like, so I got to apologize to her. But like, we are ready for Lisa Rinna back on TV. So hopefully she brings light, fun energy, and I'm sure she'll have great outfits. Okay, next up we have Porsha Williams from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was on the show from 2012 to 2021. Then she left the show for a couple years and just recently joined back on season Sweet 16, which I am watching every single week. She's also been on The Apprentice. She had her own spin-off show with her family called Portia's Family Manners. She also was on The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip where she went to Thailand. And, you know, now that she's going through her second divorce to this guy named Simon, who was like giving her $30,000 a month, she's back to hustling and grinding, and she wants to be back on TV. She wants to make her check. I love Porsha. I've always loved Porsha. I will say that as a fan of Porsha, I did lose some credibility in her when she married Simon because I just remember feeling like that was not. It was so fast. It was one of her old castmates' ex-husbands. So I just kind of like remember being such a super fan of Porsha and then losing trust in her after I felt like she made a bad decision with that marriage. Like even back in the day, I just like never supported it. And now after like this long anticipated return of Porsha on Atlanta, I was so excited for her to come back. She's also been a little bit of a disappointment this season because she came for Drew, which I liked in the beginning how she was just like bringing it and she was like bringing this like mess of like this housewife now potentially talking to her ex baby daddy, but now she's just like been repetitive, and it's been weird how she's been so mad at Drew all season and has been unable to move forward with Drew, and how she left Drew high and dry at that lunch. Like Drew doing music with Dennis is like not that serious. Like she tried to reach out to you and you just like didn't give her the time of day. Drew probably should have texted it instead of like procrastinating it. But like you having a problem with Drew just felt like inauthentic all season. And I feel like it just sucks because it's like you love Porsha so much, and I literally love her. She's so endearing. But like she I want to see Porsha be Porsha again. Like, there's just been a little bit of inauthenticity on this season of Atlanta. It's been frustrating to watch her. Even like it's been a little frustrating to watch her friendship with Shamia. That's just been like a little bit of a letdown. But Portia also is, she brings the fun. And I would have rather seen Nene Leakes on Traitors because I know her name was in the casting, especially because Portia's already on Atlanta. So it's like, why do we need you on two shows at once? Like, I miss Nene. Like, let's see someone new. Let's see an OG or an alum that we haven't seen in a while, like Lisa Rinna, like. So it's like Portia coming back feels like a little bit of a saturation kill because there was just this huge buildup for her on Atlanta and she kind of flopped that. So anyway, I love Portia so much, so I'm excited to see her on the Traitors. We'll see how she does. I think she'll go really far. Someone who I'm also really excited to see on the Traitors is Candace Dillard Bassett from The Real Housewives of Potomac. I love Candace. I've always loved Candace. I mean, I think I needed a little bit to warm up to her because the first couple seasons she was on Potomac Housewife, she was kind of a brat and she was young and she was fighting with her mom and fighting with her husband and then fighting with Monique. And that was really dark and toxic when Monique ended up pulling her hair, which resulted in Monique getting fired from the show. And now Monique is coming back to the show since Candace left the show. Candace was actually named Miss United States in 2013, and she appeared on the Real Houses of Potomac from 2018 to 2024. She left a couple years ago. I miss her on the show. I love following her on Twitter. I feel like she keeps it real. She is definitely confrontational. I think she'll be really fabulous on the Traitors. I hope she's a traitor. I am rooting for her 100%. She also just gave birth to her. I don't even know if it's she had a baby boy or a girl, but she gave birth last year. So I wonder how being a mom has changed her. I really want to see her return to Potomac Housewives one day. So hopefully this is like a step in the right direction. And I'm also going to say about Potomac Housewives is that I'm disappointed Monique is coming back. Um, and I would have rather seen Robin come back, honestly. But I'll give Monique a chance because I do like a throwback. But we need to make sure that there's room for Candace to return one day. And I also am very interested to see what the dynamic is between Giselle and Monique because Giselle like refused to film with Monique after the hair pull, and now they seem to be buddy buddy with that leaked picture on Twitter of Giselle and Monique at DC World Pride. I don't know what Potomac's going to be next season. Candace, I miss you there, and I can't wait to see what she brings on Traitors. Okay, next up we have Eric Nam. He made his debut as a 2013 singer, songwriter, and TV personality. I don't know much about Eric Nam. I actually don't know anything about Eric Nam. Um, but I think it's nice to have a musician in the mix. It will spice it up. Okay, next up we have Mora Higgins. She was a finalist on Love Island UK's ITV2. She appeared on Glow Up, Dancing on Ice, Cooking with the Stars, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. She's also been a social media presenter for Love Island USA, Love Island Games, and Love Island USA After Sun. She is iconic, and now we know why she's not hosting After Sun this season on Love Island, like she was supposed to, and we all thought she was going to with Ariana Madix. I missed her on After Sun because I think she's so fabulous, and I loved watching her last year. And she is one of the biggest stars from the UK. I think her, Molly May, and Ekansu are probably like the three biggest Love Island UK icon queen girlies that we follow here over in the US. So I think Mora has a lot of fans rallying around her, and I think she's going to be so much fun to watch. I'm definitely rooting for her, and I hope that she goes far and that she doesn't fall for a chalice prank like Ekansu did from Parvati a couple seasons back. Okay, we also have Johnny Weir, who is a two-time Olympic ice skater. He has been a longtime sports commentator, and he's also going to be joining with another Olympic ice skater, Tara Linipsky, and apparently these two are besties. They go way back because they're both Olympic skaters, so they're going to be like a duo. And that could be a threat. They're not in the reality universe. They might not be able to form alliances they with the other reality people, they could be used as swing votes, or they could be like the outsiders who are early eliminees because they might not be in touch with the reality people because we're on a reality show. They're athletes. Sometimes we don't see athletes do very well in these types of shows. And I don't know who either of them are, but I love the fabulosity of two ice skaters. And if they're also seen as a duo, that could also be trouble for them. So they could be the irrelevant people that go home early because that's how it feels, but we'll see. Okay, next up we have Ron Funches. He has lent his voice, to roles in BoJack Horseman, The Adventure of Puss in Boots. Oh my God, is that like Puss in Boots from Shrek? I don't know much about him, but he's an actor and comedian, and he seems like he's going to be funny. And oh my God, why is there no like royal on this list? Remember we had Ivor, and then there was that other royal, like John from the Parliament the season before. I don't know. I feel like that is what Ron could be giving. He could be giving like our royal sub since we don't have a royal for this season. Just like an oddball that surprises us and like you don't know why they're there, but then it becomes necessary later in the season. Ron is giving that and he's giving like goes far for like just being himself and being chill. I don't know. He seems like he could be really funny though too and like outspoken just based on these pictures I'm seeing him. He has like a big smile and I mean he's a comedian and an actor. So obviously he knows how to work a room. So maybe he'll make some alliances with some of the divas. Okay, next up we have Rob from Love Island. He was recently on Love Island season 5 and season 6. They loved him so much on season 5 as like a bombshell that they brought him back as main cast for season 6. And then he had like this whole dating thing with Leah, and that didn't work out because Leah ended up dating Miguel, who she's with right now, obviously. And there's like this Love Island spinoff that's coming soon called Beyond the Villa with the iconic season 6 cast. But I feel like Rob is like not on that because he's doing this. And he also doesn't live in LA. They really followed the cast in LA and like it was a lot of couples. Like Janae and Kenny, Leah and Miguel, Serena and Cordell. But Rob is not on it, but I did see that he was in some pictures of their Miami cast trip. So I think we'll see Rob on a couple of episodes, maybe just the finale. So that'll be fun. But seeing Rob on Traitors is cool. I mean, I'm definitely here for the hype. I feel like Rob's a nice guy, easy on the eyes. He does like snakes. He is from Alabama. So I really think that he will totally vibe out with like a lot of people and like the challenges and like the whole Scotland vibe. I feel like he's going to do really, really well and not so easy on the eyes. Like he could be our trader's crush. Okay, next up we have Kristen Kish. She is a chef who won season 10 of Top Chef in 2012. In season 21, she was named host of Top Chef Wisconsin. And I like her. I don't really know her too well because I don't watch many of the cooking shows, but I totally F with her vibe already. I think she's a lesbian, which like I love, like representation. She's a part of the community. The traders are for the gays. Um, I am excited for her, and I hope she goes far. Let's go. Okay, next up we have Stephen Coletti. So he's best known for his roles on Laguna Beach and One Tree Hill, and he also created and stars in Everyone is Doing Great. I'm pretty sure he's like married and has kids. He's so handsome and cute. Like he's such a cute guy. I think he could be our trader's crush. We need one every season. And like Dylan Efron was like the biggest trader's crush last year ever. He has such big shoes to fill if Steven's going to be our trader's daddy, and I feel like he can handle it and he can take it on. So I'm definitely rooting for Steven for that. We have Michael Rapaport, who is an actor and comedian, and he's the host of the I Am Rapaport Stereo podcast. So I know him from Watch What Happens Live. He's always on Watch What Happens Live. And I actually find him to be really funny on Watch What Happens Live. He's a huge fan and he's like shameless about it. And like I feel like Watch What Happens Live is like the place for fans, like to give their Bravo hot takes, to interact with housewives. I mean, he's had some really funny and iconic and cringy interactions with a lot of Bravo celebrities over the years on Watch What Happens Live, and it's been nothing short of fantastic television. Especially like his clips with Kenya Moore. Like the two of them go back and forth. There's a lot of banter. I've honestly always found Michael to be really authentic and funny. I do see that there's some controversy around him, like politically, so I don't love hearing that, and that could honestly like cause him to be eliminated early. I also know that he's a fanboy, which like could be a demise if he just like is so excited to be there. Like people could find him like annoying if he gets too excited. Like you definitely have to adapt and like play it cool and like almost be like low key on the Traitors if you want to like go far. And like if he gives too much energy too quickly, he could be like another Darinda situation and he can go home really early, which would disappoint him. And if he does something controversial, that will just like be a flop and that won't be good for him because now he's putting himself in the fire of the Traitors. So we'll see what he does. I mean, I hope he has good outfits. And last but not least on this list, we have Caroline Caroline Stanberry. She's known for her roles in Ladies of London as well as The Real Housewives of Dubai, which just got canceled after like 2 years and ended up being such a flop, which is unfortunate because people loved her from the Ladies of London. And I also think that Dubai had such high expectations, being that it's Dubai. You know, like Dubai is such a beautiful like city that a lot of people like imagine visiting, or there's like a lore about it. And I remember watching her actually thinking she was like a little uptight at times and boring. I think she was iconic on Ladies of London, which I didn't watch, which I should because I love the lore of London. But like on Dubai, I kind of thought she ended up being a flop. And I also feel like we don't need five housewives. They always do that. They always cast way too many housewives. Like, why is there not a girl from Vanderpump on here or Summer House or just like someone else? Like, I don't think we need five housewives. I think that's why the housewives get targeted so early and there becomes such a thing about getting them out, is because there's so many of them and they're all going to stick together, which makes sense that people stick with their tribe, their network, whatever. So, no shade towards Caroline. I don't have any issues with her, but like, I just didn't think we needed her. I feel like we needed another bachelorette. You know, like we just didn't need all those housewives. So that is the list of the 22, I think, people competing on the Traitors season 4. They're filming the show right now, and then they will air the show probably in January when they air it every year. They always air it in the winter. So I really look forward to watching the show, seeing how everyone goes down with this cast and seeing if my predictions come true. We're going to have to wait a while, but they're going down in Scotland right now, and I have a couple friends that are producers on the show. And not that they tell me anything, but I do get to follow them on Instagram and see their stories in Scotland. And even though they don't post anything about the show, it's just nice to know like a little bit of what's going on through that. So I can't wait to see what happens with the Traitors, and I cannot wait to see what happens with Love Island this season and Bachelor in Paradise and lots of other things. But those are all my thoughts. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys think of the Traitors cast. And make sure to rate, review, and subscribe if you're listening as a podcast. Please give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to hit subscribe. And we'll be back for more videos soon. Bye, guys.